Okay, let me bring back in my guest, Sarah Klein. Okay, Sarah, I'm watching this. We see a lot of matters being hashed out ahead of time, which will certainly be important during the trial. And as I was just sitting there watching, thinking about the facts, thinking about that this is a stabbing case. It's a very violent act that's being alleged to have been carried out by the defendant, Ms. Boat here. Do you have any thoughts? I know it's early in the game, but just watching it and listening, any thoughts on whether or not she may take the stand and try to testify on this one? Share with us what may be the pros and cons of something like that, please.
Yeah, like with what we saw with Addie, there's probably not a lot that she's going to be able to say that is going to, change the jury's mind and find her sympathetic, right? These facts are pretty strong on the state side, so it might be in her interest not to take the stand.
Right.
On how she's right, and depending on what she has to say, we could see. But I don't think they're going to find her very sympathetic whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, these facts are awful, and something that we know that juries can never know is there may be lots of negotiations going on. The state may have offered something. They may have offered a plea agreement. She may be unwilling to take a plea agreement. We know she's cloaked in the presumption of innocence going into trial, as heinous as these facts are. And no matter how strong of a motive the state may have or documentations to show this pattern of violence, we know she's cloaked in the presumption of innocence, doesn't have to present anything. But I always wonder how these cases get to the point of trial, just looking at the facts, reading the affidavit, wondering how it gets to this point. And like we saw with the Addie case, that was something I think we may even have discussed it, Sarah, about, my thought was that I bet they probably offered him something that he just wasn't willing to take and thought I might as well roll the dice, head to trial. Thoughts on that with this case?
That's exactly what it is. It is a roll of the dice. It's sort of, maybe a last ditch effort to put all those, dreams of not being convicted into one basket, right? And so oftentimes when they know it's this bad, when the defendant knows it's this bad, it's better for them to go to trial and roll that dice in the hopes that potentially a jury will find them innocent. But again, this is a tough one, just like Addie, very, very compelling, as you said, violent crime that juries are not going to want to hear about or think about. It's going to be very difficult for them to stomach the details of this. And so, I think she is just rolling the dice, and we'll see what happens.
Definitely. Yes, stabbing's much more intimate type of violence there. That's something that always kind of struck me when handling those kind of cases when I was a prosecutor. Sarah, great to talk with you about this one. We're going to keep watching it. Of course, get ready for the jury selection. That's going to be beginning.